Okay, good day. I got some thoughts here about some of the events that are going on today, and specifically, if you have eyes to see, you're going to see it. But I can guarantee you, if you're in your emotions, you're not going to see it. And the crazy thing is that the propaganda machine and the puppet masters know that if they can get you worked up and in your emotions, they can control you like Pinocchio, a puppet. And it's working really, really good. And I'm noticing a couple of fronts here that if people don't step back a little bit and look at what's really happening, we're in for one heck of a ride in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. So my point about what I'm going to talk about now is just about divide and conquer. The system and the machine, the propaganda ministers and the governmental officials, they know that if they can keep people divided, they can easily control them and then get whatever they want. So two areas that I'm knowing is that I know that I see are the racial divide. They want a race war, racial division, works like a charm every time. Race riots, the Rodney King thing, they're always using those events to cause division between quote unquote white people and black people. I don't like those terms because people are people. We all bleed red. Skin tone means absolutely nothing. We're all important to the Most High anyway. But what's going on here is there was some incident with a colored guy that got accosted or shot by a couple of white guys. But we're not hearing all of the things that went along with that. We're only hearing bits and pieces, but that's what the propaganda machine does every single time. They don't show you everything. They will only show you the things to create the narrative to cause a divide. Got it? But when you take a bird's eye view, you look at it and you can see that they're creating division. I was watching a video this morning of quote unquote Black Panthers running around in the neighborhood where the guy got shot or accosted, and they're showing their weapons and guns and everything in there. It's ridiculous. And then you got the white people arguing and complaining about that. Now you got division. They want division. They don't want you united with your brother. Doesn't matter what color. They know that if they can keep you divided, you're easy to control. All right. Now the second thing is with this whole COVID narrative, people are dividing, and I can feel it in the spirit. I can feel it in the tone. I can feel it that they're trying to create division amongst people that wear masks and people that don't. They're trying to set up networks, contract tracers, to get people to snitch on those that say aren't following the narrative, following the rules of standing on the tape and wearing a mask, or gathering together just for a birthday party or whatever you're doing, a social gathering. They want people to be divided against their brother and sister, their neighbor, their family. They want division. They can divide you, they can control you. They want that. Puppet masters have this down to a science. And what's stupid is it works just about every time because people just don't get a clue. They get all up in their emotions, and next thing you know, you're fighting with somebody. Instead of maybe just getting clarity or understanding where somebody else is at, or maybe you have information that they don't, or they have information that you don't, people get all worked up in their emotions because the propaganda machine and the governmental officials, and especially the stupid mainstream media people, they're all working in lockstep to get you divided from your neighbor. I'm just telling you that as I'm sitting here and I'm watching people begin to divide and get really polarized because they are in their emotions, and it's their emotions. They're getting all whacked out in their emotions. They can't think clearly. They end up in fear, and then they become super easy to control. This is just the facts. So you pick up your guns and try to have some sort of show of force that, you know, against your brother, against your neighbor. The real enemies are the propaganda ministers. The real enemies are the mainstream media. The real enemies are the governors and mayors and the cops that are running around doing things that are unconstitutional or against what they swore they were going to do. Those are the real enemies. But they got everybody, not everybody, but most people locked up in their head about Republican, Democrat. Oh, the left is doing this. Oh, the right is doing this. Clue phone. It's for you. Division, right, left, black, white. Wear a mask, don't wear a mask. See how easy that is? Get you all worked up because somebody's not doing something. They are going to overthrow the entire nation because people are in their emotions, and instead of uniting against the real enemy, they're thinking your brother is your enemy. Your neighbor is your enemy. The guy in the different neighborhood with a different skin color is your enemy. You got it all wrong. And here's what's going to happen if you don't unite as a people, is that the puppet masters that think they're in charge have you in the great illusion that they are in charge, and that because they've got you all divided, you're going to kill yourselves, or you're going to begin to kill yourselves, and then they're going to step in and help finish you off. You better unite. You better get united, period. The dissension that's on Facebook, the dissension that's in the social media circles amongst people, the mocking of those that just don't agree with you is that will be the downfall of most people here. In case you don't know, this has been in the works for a long time. If Google Georgia Guidestones, they've got some stones standing up about an hour east of Atlanta. Granite stones, big monument that's been there since the 80s, that specifically says that the population of the earth shall not exceed 500 million, which is about a tenth of what it is now or something. I don't know, I'll do the math. They're trying to reduce the population with the whole scheme of climate change, which used to be global warming. They had to change it because it was getting warm out, or it was cooling off again, or whatever. They change it. It's not true. They're trying to eliminate people, and it's a small group of people that are working through the puppet masters. My point here is that people better start respecting one another. And just because you don't agree doesn't mean you divide. It isn't a color issue. Right now, this isn't even a medical issue. This is about world domination. This has nothing to do with the medical, you know? they're trying to use that as a mechanism to be able to cause division. The very easy way to divide and conquer people. So doesn't matter what religion you are, it doesn't matter what color you are, it doesn't matter your occupation, it doesn't matter your education. They just want division because you're easy to control. So get out of your emotions and think for yourself. That's all I gotta say.